Hello, YouTubers, and welcome back to another episode of Oath Breakers here on the Ohio Patriot Education Network YouTube channel. I am, as always, your host, AR, the Ohio Patriot, and for today's episode, we're going to be talking about pre-Oath Breaker and piece of fucking shit who should no longer have a medical license in the state of Ohio, Dr. Patricia Goetz, who is currently trying to run for Ohio State Senate against our recently endorsed Christina Rogner. So basically, first and foremost, we're going to pull up a picture of what Patricia Goetz actually looks like so we know who the fuck we're talking about here with this psychotic lunatic. And then we're going to talk about why she should be disqualified from the running in this race, simply because of the fact her ties to Moms Demand Action, Everytown, every other anti-gunner fucking group out there, and the fact that she is literally a fucking psychotic nut job. So obviously that's a picture of Patricia Goetz. She just looks like a fucking lunatic anyway, dude. I'm not surprised in the least by the fact that she's an anti-gunner and stuff like that. And the reason that I say that is because I can go ahead and pull up some stuff right now, actually, because I was trying to confirm a few things here when I was looking up some stuff. And sure enough, all you really have to do is type in her name and Moms Demand Action, and a bunch of stuff starts popping up, which is what I did right here. You got June 11th, 2022, Dr. Patricia Goetz on Twitter. I was at the March for Our Lives at Highland Square Liberty in Akron, sponsored by Moms Demand Action. And then, of course, you got photos of her with the March for Our Lives people and the MDA people right there. So, yeah. Yay. Fucking Bloomberg paid puppets, dude. That's exactly what the state of Ohio needs, right? No, we need to tell you to fuck off, you fucking stupid cunt. Seriously, it's fucking ridiculous, dude. And of course, you got some dumbass back there holding a pro-gun and pro-life and pro-gun sign. Yeah, you can be pro-life and pro-gun, you fucking retards. That's the problem, dude. These people are all fucking lemmings entirely, and this is the entire problem with our country right now, dude. Is that retards like this have voting rights ever, or can even run for office for that matter, dude? It's like, hey, if you don't want to own a gun, dude, it's whatever. Don't even be fucking trying to take my gun rights away, motherfucker, or anybody else's for that matter, dude, just because you're a fucking psychotic lunatic that can't sit there and actually understand the right and the need to have a gun, or that you don't trust yourself with a fucking firearm, which is what it is in most cases with Moms Demand Action, March for Our Lives, Giffords, Everytown, all those fucking people, dude. They don't trust themselves enough because they know that they are psychologically fucked in the head, is what it is. And what's even worse is, even going to Goetz's website here, when you type in her name and stuff, obviously it's like the first thing that pops up on Google there. This is what the Democrats always do, by the way, when it comes to shit. It's they do this shit and then project and act like this other side doing when it's really them, dude. Her whole entire statement here. Dr. Patricia Goetz is a child psychiatrist. How the fuck is she still licensed in the state, by the way? You want to know why kids are so messed up in the head in the state of Ohio, dude? It's because of people like this having medical licenses. But yes, this child psychiatrist who isn't afraid to stand up to extremists or special interests in the political arena, except that you are the fucking special interest, you stupid cunt, because you are literally a Moms Demand Action member who has gone down the state house for the past 3 to 5 fucking years, Patricia, and sat there with your fucking buddies like Christina Woodworth, or how the fuck pronounce her dumbass name, and sat there and bitched and moaned about, this is why Ohio doesn't need constitutional carry. This is why Ohio doesn't need stand your ground. This is why Ohio needs red flag laws. This is why Ohio needs universal background checks. Go fucking fuck yourself, you fucking cunts. Seriously. I am so sick and tired of it, dude. The worst thing ever happened in this fucking country, honestly, was any kind of corporate lobbying, dude, which is exactly what Moms Demand Action is, which is exactly what Everytown is, which is exactly what March for Our Lives is, which is exactly what fucking Planned Parenthood is, who I guarantee is also fucking funding Goetz's campaign. And it's also what fucking every other anti-gun lobbyist out there, every fucking corporate lobbyist for big oil, big agro, etc., dude. And that's exactly why these people should be banned from even having a fucking say in anything, dude. No, you're not an independent person when you're sitting there wearing the fucking red Moms Demand Action shirts. You are clearly part of a bigger group of fucking psychotic lunatics who have no business even having voting rights in this country, let alone fucking gun rights for that matter, dude. So anyway, And then it continues on here and says, as our champion for science and facts in Summit County's new 27th Senate district, we can count on the doctor to fight for. And then it talks about here women's reproductive choice, because of course she's fucking pro baby killing, dude. Because why wouldn't she be? It's the fucking Democrat line at this point, dude. Equal pay for equal work, except for the fact that you don't do equal work in most cases. And there's a reason why men supposedly get paid more than women. And when you actually look into the actual facts, that whole thing, it's a bullshit statistic in most cases, dude. It's because there's a lot of jobs out there where men specifically are 100% of the fucking workforce. There ain't no women wanting to work down in sewers or be garbage men or other stuff like that, dude, in most cases. And that's why those are usually men-only working jobs is what it is. And yeah, it's why they get paid more in those cases. And we got pension protection and workers' rights. I love the workers' rights shit, because all that should say right there is communist agenda is what that should be labeled as, dude, because that's what it really is at the end of the day. New jobs and green collar jobs, what she really means is she's trying to push EVs and other stupid bullshit, dude, that are not physically viable in our current system right now, dude. Opportunities for millennials. There already are, lady. It's called Go Get a Job in the State of Ohio. Small business support. Oh, you mean like the small businesses that you and the rest of the Democrat Party helped shut down for 442 plus days in the state of Ohio, lady? When you tried to force in masking and fucking shut down every single restaurant across this state for a year and a half of our lives, to where there's now like dozens and dozens, if not hundreds of fucking businesses, including dozens to several hundred that have been family owned for 15 plus years and have now been shut down permanently because of that crap? You mean like that, Patricia Goetz? Is that what you're talking about, you stupid fucking cunt? I think so. Affordable medical care and mental wellness. Well, that's kind of hard to do when you're the fucking psychiatrist there, lady. And that's the thing, dude. I've talked about this before in many episodes of various things on this channel, whether it be grandstanding, whether it be oath breakers, whether it be 2A cast. The problem with most psychiatrists and psychologists in this country is that they themselves go into those fields because they have a mental illness themselves, dude. It's kind of hard to help people with mental help or mental health issues when you yourself have a mental health issue that has not been addressed. And that's the problem with all these people, dude. Anyway, care and services for Ohio seniors. Yeah, I do believe in that, actually, to be honest with you. That's the only thing I would agree with her on, dude. And it's like, there is a difference, though. And it's not fucking putting the bill on other people and other taxpayers to pay for the elderly and stuff like that, dude. It's not and again, it's the same thing with the rest of this crap on here, dude. The workers' rights and all that crap like that, dude. It's like, the entire problem with unionization is when you look into the entire thing, the entire history of unions, dude, it's all rooted in like communism and socialism and stuff like that, dude. And that's what their end game is, honestly, in this country, even. They're trying to force through their own leftist agenda to then push for all this kind of crap in here that all it's going to do is lead to a fucking breaking point, because you're pushing communism and socialism, or cultural Marxism for that matter, which is just Marxism no matter what anyway. It also goes back to third wave feminism too, which is also the bastard daughter of Marxism, just like how communism, socialism also fall under the Marxist agenda and stuff like that. And a lot of times, going back to what Goetz said in her statement there to begin with on her website here, what you end up having is a situation where these people are playing out of the rules for radicals playbook at this point, dude. You know, the Saul Alinsky tactics and stuff like that. Hillary Clinton's favorite book is what it is. Because of the fact that they understand that when you're accusing the other side of things you're actually doing, like, I don't know, calling everybody fucking Nazi and stuff like that, dude. Usually you're probably the fucking Nazi is what it is. Or you're probably the fucking fascist, or you're probably the fucking communist, or whatever it is, man. You know? So anyway, continuing on here, it said, quality public education and better teacher pay. Why should we be paying teachers that are trying to indoctrinate children, you stupid bitch? And yeah, there should be quality public education. We should also, guess what, have school choice and be able to choose where we want to send our kids and not have them be forced into some school system that's going to get X amount of dollars for every fucking head in the school. which is exactly what you're seeing a bunch of these schools freak out over right now, because they're all getting fucking federal grant money for how many kids that they have. Or actually, I don't know if it's federal grant money per se, but it's federal funds that usually come from taxpayer dollars, by the way, because the federal government doesn't make jack shit. They just print a bunch of money is what it is. And it's all them taking that money and giving it to these school systems, because it's like, oh, you have, 300,000 kids in these school districts or whatever it is. Okay, here's X amount of dollars for each one of them then, 20 grand a head, whatever it is going to be or more. And yeah, when you start cutting that out, $20,000, $30,000, $40,000 a piece, I think is what it is now. I think it's somewhere between 30 and 40,000 now is what it is per kid or whatever. Might even be 50 or 60 now. I'm thinking about it offhand. It's a lot though, dude. But yeah, when you're cutting out that, $30,000 plus dollars or so per child, and you're taking, 100 kids out of the school system or whatever, dude, that's like quite a bit of money right there, dude. That's several $1 million then when it's all said and done. Continuing on here, then you got expanded options for college and vocational training. As I have said multiple times, dude, college is a fucking joke. It's a bunch of bullshit. It's a bunch of lies, dude. Vocational training, as I have tried to run on for governor at least twice now, and also tried to run in the state senate the last time around here. Of course, my campaign never got off the ground because of social media censorship. We need 6-year trades in schools, dude. There is no reason to have anything after high school. You should be able to put the kids into a program in junior high all the way through high school and have them do on-the-job training the last couple of years of high school, and then they can simply go work in that field for the rest of their lives if they want to work in that field for the rest of their lives. Or if they want to go back and do something else, 10, 15 years down the road, that's on them as well, dude. But again, you should be focusing on apprenticeships. You should be focusing on trade schools within our grade schools at this point and teaching these kids from a young age, like, hey, there is other options. There is better options, and it is trades. It's not fucking college, dude, because unless you're going to go into a specific degree in college, that's not a big thing that's having people come overseas to, be in that in-demand trade. That's the only way you're going to make money anymore, dude. Let's see. Here you go, right here. Public safety. Common sense gun safety laws. Patricia's opponent sponsored the law to allow teachers to carry guns in schools. Good. And that's why people should vote for Christina Rogner over you, dumb bitch. Said making our children less safe. That is an absolute lie. That is an absolute lie, Goetz, and you fucking know it. It's just like the same bullshit where you had Christine Woodworth come out of the fucking woodwork and be all like, oh, but if somebody carries a loaded handgun without a license in the state of Ohio, oh my God, it's so we don't know who's actually legal to carry or not. Fuck off, lady, seriously. Like, this is the problem with these people, dude. And like I said, I'm 99% sure it was at that same fucking event that Patricia Goetz was actually speaking on behalf of Moms Demand Action against constitutional carry rights in this state, dude. And I'm pretty sure she was also probably one of the people that was speaking more recently against teachers being able to carry in schools because, shocker, she is a fucking plant for Moms Demand Action whose entire campaign is being funded by Bloomberg money. Which is exactly why she should be thrown out of this fucking entire race, dude, because she's a pre-oath breaker. When you're sitting there running on anti-gun bullshit, you are absolutely 100% breaking any oath to office that you would be swearing if you were elected. Because you're directly infringing upon the Second Amendment of the Constitution and the people's right to keep and bear arms, which is the oath that you were swearing upon when you take office and you put your hand on a fucking Constitution and you say, I swear to uphold the Constitutions of the state of Ohio and the United States. And that's the problem with all these fucking people, dude. It's the same thing with Nan Whaley. It's the same thing with Tim Ryan, dude. They are all a bunch of oath-breaking fucking cunts, dude, and they should all be thrown out of these fucking races because of that alone. Because they are directly breaking an oath before even taking it. Anyway, continuing on with this, though, it said, Goetz will fight for responsible gun safety laws and have the support of the vast majority of Ohio citizens. That is a fucking lie. Vast majority of Ohio citizens do not support your stupid bullshit, Patricia Goetz. You're a fucking lying cunt, lady. Go fuck yourself. We want constitutional carry. We want stand your ground. We want better versions of stand your ground that would have gotten passed had it not been for rhino fucking cucks in the state house, people like Bill Seitz, who fucked us in the ass. And it would have also been for our constitutional carry, we would have had concealed weapons of all kinds, including knives and everything else like that, dude. If it wasn't for that stupid bastard taking the shit out of it is what it was, dude. Of course she does. Yeah, right here. Patricia Goetz his fucking stance. I support reinstituting the concealed carry law. I'm assuming she means licensing at that point is what she really means, dude. It's not reinstituting concealed carry law. It's reinstituting concealed carry licensing, which, by the way, the state has no legal fucking right to tell you if you can or can't carry, dude. Unless you're a convicted felon, and by that right, you should really still be in prison at that point. The entire point is, though, is you have no right to put undue burdens on the Second Amendment is what it is, which is exactly what concealed carry licensing does. When it costs somebody $130+ to go take an 8-hour course and then go pay another $65 on top of that or more. And that course that I'm talking about was the one I was looking into, actually. It was $65 for the course, and it was $65 for my concealed carry license then. And for me personally, as a poor Ohioan living paycheck to paycheck like most Ohioans, we cannot afford those undue fines and burdens. We also cannot afford to take off an 8-hour workday to go do an 8-hour course, lady. But that's the problem with these anti-gunners, dude, that don't have guns, by the way. Because if they did, or if they ever did a fucking course themselves, dude, they'd be like, this is fucking bullshit. They'd be like, this is ridiculous. Why am I wasting this amount of time for all this crap, dude? And then, of course, her thing, mandatory training for gun use. Again, unconstitutional, you fucking oath-breaking cunt, Patricia Goetz. And then, of course, her other stance was, I oppose guns in our schools, period. And then another period after the period. I think Patricia Goetz is on the fucking rag right now, dude, honestly, in this whole thing. But yeah, those statements right there, dude, is exactly why she should be disqualified from this race entirely. Exactly why she should be disqualified, dude. And the fact that you're putting that crap under the public safety moniker is absolute bullshit, dude. Because it's not public safety. You want to talk about public safety? Public safety is having people have the right to be able to carry a fucking firearm and be able to defend themselves against the criminals that you, Patricia, keep letting back in the fucking streets or creating by being a child psychiatrist that fucks up kids, puts mental fucking shit in their heads, pushes the fucking transgender crap all the fucking time, and that bullshit ass agenda for the fucking quilt bag mafia is what it is. And then you wonder why you got fucking kids being all fucked in the head now after, a year and a half of fucking masking them every fucking day of their lives, to where now half of them don't even qualify to be in the fucking grades that they're currently in. You got fucking third graders that have the mentality of like a fucking first grader still, because again, you stop them from being able to properly breathe and actually learn shit because you put fucking masks on their faces for a goddamn year and a half of their lives, dude. And then you wonder why all these kids that are even younger than that are being all fucking autistic and shit now. Again, it doesn't help when you do not have them have the ability to have verbal fucking cues by being able to see people's mouths move. God damn, dude. Equality and justice for all, criminal justice reforms. I guarantee what this is fucking the same bullshit that they pushed in New York, where it was basically bail reform crap, dude. But let's go ahead and read it anyway. Let's see. Patricia understands that our current system is broken and in dire need of major reforms. She will work with community leaders, local officials, and fellow legislators to put forward real improvements and reduce the systematic racism inherent in current policy. Fuck off, lady. Go fuck yourself, Patricia. You are the fucking racist bitch. Like, seriously, anybody running on that shit, again, should be disqualified from the running under a 28th Amendment when it comes to auto DQs from even running for office, dude. And we continue on this crap, though. She said, I support independent civilian oversight boards for law enforcement accountability. And who's the so-called independent citizens? The BLM terrorists that were burning down our fucking country the entire summer of 2020, you dumb cunt? I'm guessing that's who it is, honestly. Or is it the same piece of shit BLMers that are fucking doing Walker Wednesday for fucking crackhead Jalen Walker, who shot at the fucking cops first and then got fucking unloaded on by those police officers in self-defense? when he tried to reach for his fucking waistband, most likely trying to grab the gun that fell out of his fucking junk area right before he jumped out of the fucking car is what it was, dude. Or as he was jumping out of the car, actually, probably is what happened there. Because just how it was sitting on the one seat, it mostly, because he was jumping out of the one side of the car, it probably just fell out is what it was when he was hopping out of the car then. And that's probably what he was trying to reach for, is my guess. Not realizing, oh shit, I don't have a gun on me anymore. And then, yeah, it's just like 8 cops just banging his ass to death is what it was, dude. So, but yeah, 100% justifiable homicide on that one, dude. 100%. Any one of those cops would have been justified in shooting and killing that dude that day. Anyway, she continued on here and said, Patricia said, I believe officers have a duty to apply medical care to citizens in need during an arrest. Of course, that's fentanyl Floyd shit, honestly, dude, which is a false narrative in of itself. I support increased crisis intervention and de-escalation training for police officers. Here's the better question, Patricia. Do you also support taking away cops and defunding the police and making crisis people go in there and do the fucking police work? Like crazy-ass psychiatrists and shit like that are just going to get stabbed to death by some psycho with a fucking knife. Because I'm be willing to bet she does, honestly, dude. I'm 100% be willing to bet she does, honestly. Let's see. She continued on then and said, I support additional funding for PTSD counseling for officers in need. Now, see, again, even though I believe that Patricia Goetz is a psychotic lunatic, this is something I actually agree with. Like, that's what I'm saying, dude. Like, this is why I'm an internet libertarian, dude, because the internet libertarian party supports the best of everything is what it is, dude. We take the best of everything, and it's like, yeah, this is what is actually needed. This kind of thing right here, PTSD counseling and stuff like that, man. Because that's the thing. And the real problem is calling shit post-traumatic stress disorder anyway, dude. Because in reality, it's actually just shell shock. That was the best name for that ever, actually. It was back in, I believe it was World War II area of our history and stuff like that. And yeah, when you look at stuff and you talk about shell shock, dude, that's exactly what it really was, because you had a shock to your system is what it was. And then, of course, they made it like this whole thing in the 80s, 90s, whatever it was then, where it was post-traumatic, or no, I think it was actually Vietnam era, so it would have been like late 60s, early 70s then, so it would have been about 20 years or so after the after World War II then, like 2030, somewhere in there. And yeah, then they changed it to post-traumatic stress disorder. It's never changed since then, which in reality, like I said, it should really be called shell shock still, because again, you're having a shock to your system, you know, like you're not, like, seriously, you look at all these dudes in like various war movies and stuff like that, these guys have gone into wars and stuff like that, and they're just like standing there all freaked out and shit. And it's like, yeah, dude, because you're being shocked because you got mortar shells going on all around you and you're not used to that fucking sound or that thing. And you're just like freaking out basically. And then it, you know, does psychological shit to your mind is what it is then. And from there, you end up being in those situations then when you come back home, you know, after serving overseas and stuff like that, and these various conflicts and wars and bankster wars and everything else like that. And you end up having, you know, dreams and stuff like that where you think you're still on the battlefield and you're, you know, basically having a freak out and you're, you know, that 1,000-yard stare kind of thing is what it is, dude. And that's the problem right now. And that's what I'm saying. Like, I actually support this kind of stuff. The problem is when you have the same fucking person sitting there being like, oh, we need to repeal constitutional carry and stuff like that. Fuck off, cunt. Seriously. And that's the thing. What Goetz is talking about right here, dude, Rogner herself or any of the other people in the Ohio State Senate or Ohio State House in our General Assembly currently could actually be pushing for legislation like this. If Patricia Goetz actually gave a shit as a, you know, child psychiatrist, she would actually really be legitimately working with lawmakers, not just Democrat lawmakers, but all lawmakers in the Ohio State House right now, dude, and doing what needs to be done to help push for legislation, dude. If that includes writing some of the stuff, whatever the case be, dude, or even giving them like a rough draft and being like, hey, you know, this is what you guys should be, you know, introducing as legislation or whatever the case be. And then they sort of, you know, take out like some leftist stupid bullshit from it or whatever the case be and ruin it a little bit is what it is then, man. And make sure it's not like some backdoor gun control crap or something like that, like red flag laws are, which have been for years now, actually, decades. And the thing with red flag legislation is, you know, since 1999 after Columbine, it is nothing more than a bunch of shit that breaks almost the entire Bill of Rights and then the 14th Amendment on top of that, dude. Because it directly infringes upon the 1st, 2nd, 4th, 5th, 6th, 8th, 9th, 10th, and 14th Amendments of the Constitution, dude. It is a direct violation of every single one of those because it does everything from censorship of freedom of speech to the right to keep and bear arms, to illegal search and seizures, and so forth and so on, dude. Not to mention it has no due process in it because it's all ex parte hearings and stuff like that. And that's the entire problem with red flag laws in a nutshell, dude. Or ERPOs, or whatever the hell they're calling them now at this point, dude. Which is like gun safety crap or whatever now, I think is what their bullshit is now. So, let's see. Then we got, this is another thing. This is what I think is interesting too. Then you got Democrats that run like weed legalization and stuff like that, dude, usually. Thing about that is, dude, as a internet libertarian, I am actually pro-weed. I'm also pro-2A. And there should not be a thing where the government tells me I can't do both at the same time is what it is, man. There is no reason for marijuana to be a Schedule 1 drug at this point, ever, dude. The only reason that it is because, again, it goes back to big pharma lobbyists when they have the ability to go out there and fuck with people's constitutional rights. And it's like, oh, no, we're going to push all of our fucking drugs that have a shitload of side effects to them, when in reality, weed is just God's medicine, dude. It was put on this earth because it's a natural cure-all to a lot of stuff with very minimal side effects to it is what it is. Now, granted, you could talk about long-term use and stuff like that and health benefits and health risks and stuff like that, which maybe, you know, should be studied actually more. But the entire point is depending on how you're, you know, ingesting it, or if you're, in a lot of cases, anymore, you don't even have to eat the shit. You don't have to actually smoke it anymore, dude. You can just eat it in like edibles and stuff like that. You know, it could just be derived THC put into gummy bears or a sucker or something else for that matter, dude, where you could just literally take out a lollipop and be sucking on a lollipop and just be high. And you're getting the benefits of that for, you know, various medical conditions, whether it be people like myself who have arthritis in our 30s because of medical conditions from our, you know, teenage years from shitty doctors back then, or whether it be, you know, various other things like that for old people and stuff like that that have arthritic issues or, you know, joint issues or anything like that, dude, and stuff like that. And again, the crazy part of it is, man, you have so many people now that are the hippie generation and stuff like that, or even younger than that for that matter, that are up there and, you know, their 60s, 70s, 80s and stuff like that now. And they're the ones that would directly benefit from most of this stuff. And the fucked up part is they're the ones that are actually pushing back against it to not have it be legalized, dude. And it's just like, why? It's just silly. It really is, honestly, dude. So, anyway. But yeah, as Goetz said, our outdated drug laws are disproportionately, like, again, this is the problem right here. She makes it about race, dude. Disproportionately harming people of color in Ohio. Again, you could, you know, rephrase that as colored, and then it becomes a whole thing. And it's like, bro, like, it's like, seriously, the whole POC thing, dude, is just another fucking phrase of racism in modern day history, honestly, dude, is what it is. She said, with too many nonviolent offenders being jailed. Well, the thing about it is, though, you know, if you actually look at why these people are jailed and stuff, dude, it's not that they're just, you know, out there with a little bit of weed or whatever the case be, dude. In most cases, it's that they have, again, and this goes back to federal stuff, they tend to be either dealing or they have a weed and firearms with them as well at the time, and which is another felony charge as well on top of that, dude. So basically what would be potentially, okay, so this is basically how Ohio's law works when it comes to marijuana use and stuff like that. I believe it's, if you get caught with like X amount on you or whatever the case be, it's like a misdemeanor. And then after like a certain amount, then it starts to become like a low-level felony is what it is. But then the problem with that is, again, if you have like distribution levels and stuff like that, which, you know, could be several ounces and stuff like that, or even like a few pounds or whatever, and then you have a firearm on you on top of that, dude, then yeah, you have another felony on top of that is what it is. And then they charge you with multiple felonies is what it ends up being, dude. And the thing about her saying non-violent offenders and stuff like that is a fucking lie in most cases, dude, because again, just because these people are not fucking like violently attacking the cops when they're arrested doesn't mean that they're not non-violent offenders. They could easily be violent offenders, dude. Hell, there's a reason why most drug dealers carry fucking guns on them, dude, because again, it's a business where you have a potential to get robbed and possibly killed, and that's why you usually are going to pull your gun out and shoot first is what it is, dude. So it's like, fuck me, man, seriously. Anyway, but yeah, she claimed it was about harming people of color and then way too many non-violent offenders being jailed at a massive cost to taxpayers instead of getting treatment they often need. So Patricia supports proposals to decriminalize possession of small amounts of weed, regulating it like alcohol to adults 21 and over. I think it should be 18 and over. If you're a legal adult, if you can actually serve in the military, if you can fucking, you know, have voter rights and stuff like that, you should be able to do it whenever, dude. I understand the whole 21 thing, though, because, again, it's people that, you know, again, like her, Democrats will push it to the whole, oh, it's just like alcohol kind of thing or whatever the case be, which is kind of funny because when you look back at the history of age of legalization for drinking in this country, it wasn't until the early 70s when you actually had it up from 18 to 21 then, dude, because back in the day, you could have people at 18 years old have a beer or have a glass of wine or a fucking, you know, glass of scotch or something like that, dude, or some whiskey or whatever it was, that were going to go off to war and die. But now, you know, you can't have that anymore, dude, until they're 21, which is absolute bullshit entirely, dude. So, anyway. But yeah, my thing is, I would love to know exactly what she means by small amounts of weed, because again, that could be, you know, a bowl's worth, it could be an ounce worth, it could be fucking 3 ounces, dude. Because the thing is, here's the thing, man, if you're going to be smoking on a regular basis and stuff like that, most people, their tolerance goes up and they're going to need more and more to get high, dude, is what it is. And that's what I'm saying. Like, you could have somebody that legitimately has been smoking weed for 15, 20 years and they have like a pound of weed on them and it's personal use, dude. Whereas, you know, for someone that doesn't do that on a regular basis, it could be like, okay, let me go and do a thing and get like a little container that has like an ounce or two in it. And that would be their personal use for like a week or something. Versus the guy that has like a pound on him and it's their personal use for like a couple days or something then. Which again, if you're smoking that much weed, maybe you should stop smoking weed, is what it is, man. But that's a whole different story altogether. Again, you know, it's the whole thing there. But yeah, and what's funny to me is too, by the way, is there's already been multiple things like this in the Ohio General Assembly, dude, for decriminalization and stuff like that. The issue becomes it's people not wanting to get on board because, again, they're paid for by big pharma lobbyists in a lot of cases, dude, is what it ends up being. Oh boy, here we go. Addressing the climate crisis. I'm not even gonna get into this crap, dude, because again, of course, she's one of these climate crazies, man. Because why wouldn't she be? She's an anti-gunner already, dude. Why wouldn't she be all about the climate craziness, dude? Jesus fucking Christ, dude. Man, I am like, oh my god, dude. I can't even with this woman. I can't even, man. I can't even right now. What I think is funny, though, is that you have Goetz talking about Rogner being, obviously, let me go ahead and grab a picture up of both of these ladies right now. Grabbing Goetz and Rogner here. So, my biggest issue entirely going to this race is you have Patricia Goetz falsely claiming that it's a toss-up district right now that these chicks are running for. It's not, by the way, and I've looked into it here, just based on the Ballotpedia thing from our primary back in August. So, first of all, you have, let's see if I can grab the photos here. This is Christina Rogner, the woman who's actually a current state senator and who I've endorsed for this race because of the fact that Patricia Goetz is a fucking nut. Rogner needs to get reelected. It's as simple as that, dude. Then you have good God. That chick's hard to look at, man. You got Patricia Goetz, who is a child psychiatrist. How she is even still medically licensed in this state when she's pushing a bunch of anti-gun nonsense, dude. And doesn't know a fucking thing about school safety or addressing, you know, fucking, like, I mean, the thing is, even in her own field, dude, she clearly doesn't know how to address fucking child mental health issues and stuff like that, dude, because if she did, there wouldn't be a bunch of mass shooters going up and shooting schools. Hell, I've looked into the shit in the past 6 months or so just because of the fact of what's going on with me and my family and stuff like that. Other people in my family, I should say, extended and stuff like that have had mental health issues in the state right now in the last year. And yeah, dude, if you want to talk about stuff that's broken, it is our fucking psychiatry system right now, dude. It's our actual mental health system in the state. Because you have people having to wait 6 to 9 months just to see a psychiatrist or psychologist or whatever it is, dude. And then again, just like everybody else, dude, like Goetz pushes her own agendas. What it is. I remember talking to some woman a few years back, actually. It was at my, it was the building next to the building where my MD is at. And I forget what that woman's name is. I know it wasn't Goetz, thankfully. She was actually the chick that finally diagnosed me as being high functioning autistic, is what it is. And they finally got it right for once. It only took them 31 years at that point. So, anyway, now I'm 37, going on 38 actually. But yeah, the whole point is though, is that you had even that woman. We were talking about stuff, and I was mentioning stuff about Marvel at the time, and I was like, yeah, they're kind of pushing this leftist agenda or whatever the case be. And then she's like, oh, but it's not that bad, and this is why third wave feminism is great. And I'm like, okay, this is gonna be our last session then. So it's like, again, you don't gotta fucking, sort of push back on that shit, dude. Just let your fucking patient speak to you, is what it is, for God's sakes. But anyway, yeah. And it's like, again, when you have Goetz basically pushing this crap, dude, is what it is, for anti-gun nonsense, for fucking claiming it's like common sense crap or whatever. And then she's also, it's a bunch of shit, dude, entirely. But as I was saying, when it comes to the actual race itself here, when you go back to what should have been the May primary, which is actually our second primary that happened in August here, this is not a toss-up district that these women are running for, dude. This is 100% a leans red district for sure, because you just look at the numbers right here. You had Goetz get the vote, 7,597 votes. Christina Rogner, current incumbent, 8,993 votes, almost 1,400 more. And that was just in the primary, dude. So if you look at that particular set of numbers there, dude, Rogner wins by at least probably 5 points or more, dude. Like, I'd be willing to bet it's like a 55-45 split or something like that, dude. So it's not even a toss-up. And anybody that tries to say it is bullshit, dude. No, it's a leans red district for sure. It's not going to be a hard red district based on those numbers, but it would be a leans red for sure, dude. And that's the big thing, man. And I'm sure there's a lot of those in our current state house right now, because again, when you have the Democrats fuck with our map making and stuff like that, and they're like, oh, but we're going to talk to the Ohio State Senate and claim this one's unconstitutional and get our fucking money back into Maureen O'Connor's pocket, and then she's going to deem it unconstitutional for us, is what it was, dude. Many, many times is what they did there. Fucking Democrats and other assholes in this state that are a bunch of leftist douchebags, dude. To where now you've actually had our state be trying to take that Supreme Court now at a federal level and be like, hey, deem the shit that they pulled here unconstitutional and let our fucking maps go through for the next couple of years then, dude. And that's the thing. And this is why Democrats, fucking inch and claw at every fucking thing, dude. And the left claws at every fucking thing is what it is, dude. Because they can't fucking deal with the fact you would have a map in place for 2 years or even 4 years for that matter, because they know once that happens, oh shit, we ain't never getting this back again. Yet what they fail to even realize is Ohio has been a red state since at least 2012 because we were sick and tired of the fucking Democrat nonsense back then, dude. Yeah, Ohio at one point was a bellwether state. It was a fucking purple state. But guess what? Because you've had Democrats go on this fucking psychotic, lunatic fucking agenda of let's kill kids on demand to the moment of fucking birth and then get paid by Planned Parenthood to run for office and stuff like that. Or, oh, let's fucking ban all the guns and then get paid by Bloomberg and company to run for office and stuff like that as their plants. Like, this is the entire problem, dude. They've literally run off a fucking cliff, Wile E. Coyote style, and held up the sign that says, oh shit, as they're falling. And have tried to grab onto the ledge many, many times, and it's just like, abortion, gun, anti-gun stance, all kinds of other stupid shit. And it's like, all this crap, dude. These people do not care about your rights. They do not care about my rights. They do not care about anybody's rights. All they ultimately care about is seizing power and trying to destroy our Constitution as it was built by the founders of this fucking country who literally fought a revolution against their oppressors in the British Empire. Nobody ever talks about that, or at least it seems like they don't, man. You had to have our founders, who, by the way, would have been considered terrorists back in their own time period, have to fight against the fucking British Empire to actually have a nation that exists today known as the United States of America, dude. They were some of the greatest men ever born. They were some of the smartest men ever born. And there's a reason why women didn't have voting rights until the early 1900s. And guess what they did? Immediately after they got voting rights in 1919, they fucked it all up, dude. They fucked it all up by voting some Democrat fucking douchebag into office in 1920 that directly led to the fucking Great Depression in this country. That's what happened, dude. Way to go, suffragettes. Way to go, fucking dumbass first wave feminists. You fucked it all up for the rest of them, dude. And that's what I'm saying, bro. Like, it all goes back to everything at that point, dude. The real problem now, and I'll say it like it is, and I've said it before, when it comes to not everybody should have voting rights in this country, dude, and it's true, honestly. Because when you have some of the dumbest fucking people believe the lies, believe the bullshit, believe the fucking crap from the Democrat Party, and just sit there and be the lowest voter IQ base in the fucking actual voters, or of the actual fucking voters in the race, yeah, it's like, of course they're going to continue to vote Democrat, dude. It's why it's why literally any person in this country that is a minority that starts to think for themselves and is like, oh, I'm not going to vote Democrat anymore, I'm going to vote Republican or independent or something else like that, they're like, Democrats are like, no, you're our voter block, come back here. Or they'll sit there and call you a bunch of racist ass names, dude. You know? They'll go back to full Jim Crow, full KKK, which they fucking created, by the way, in the Democrat Party, just like they created BLM in 2014 or so. Or actually, it was a little bit before 2014, but yeah, it basically became big in 2014 when Obama gave them a fucking platform to spew their hate, is what it was, dude. At the White House. And like I said, man, when you got people like Patricia Goetz trying to run for the Ohio State House right now, or Ohio State Senate, I should say, General Assembly, it's a bunch of shit, dude. Because she's running on an anti-gun, anti-life, climate bullshit fucking platform, dude, which all of it should be direct things to disqualify her from office, dude. When she's running on multiple things by her own admission that she's going to be an oath breaker if elected, no, she shouldn't be allowed to be in the race, dude. It's just like I've said with Nan Whaley before, dude. When you got Nan Whaley trying to run for governor of Ohio right now and is running on an anti-gun, anti-life platform, dude, it's like, no, you're fucking disqualified, bitch. Get the fuck out of here. You're not running anymore. You're lucky you're not in jail right now for killing kids for the last couple of years, honestly, when you were dating mayor. And that's another thing, too, by the way. And it's like the same thing I said across the board, dude. When it's, whether it be Patricia Goetz or Nan Whaley or Tim Ryan or fucking Amelia Sykes or any of these fucking nut job Democrats, dude, they all support child murder in the womb, dude. And it's not even just in the womb. It's a lot of cases, if you would actually talk to them one-on-one or behind closed doors, whatever the case be, dude, they'll go fucking further than that and be like, all the way up to the moment of birth and even beyond, bro. So you're talking about children that could legitimately be born alive that they are perfectly fine with killing. That is Satanist level shit, dude. That is legitimately fucking demonic entities in human meat suits at that point. That is some crossroads demon shit. And that's why I've said many, many times, I believe truthfully we are in a battle of good and evil at this point. We are 100% in a battle of good and evil right now, dude. These people have gone so fucking extreme that they want to permanently end human life when the Constitution itself specifically states life, liberty, property. You can't have liberty or property without having life, man. Like, it's not that hard to figure out. And these people want to take this crazy ass stance to where they're like, no, that's not how it should be at all. And it's like, no, you're a fucking nut. Get the fuck out of here. You're not going to win. I hope and pray, man. I hope and pray that Christina Rogner could take it down and that those numbers, honestly, from our primaries and stuff like that, dude, were just low turnouts on both sides, dude. Well, actually, it was probably mostly turnouts for the Democrats, actually. That's probably most of their voter base, actually, in that particular district and stuff. But yeah, hopefully it was a low turnout for Republicans, dude, because if that be the case, it would be 2-3 to 1, honestly, then, dude. So, I don't know, man. It's just, it's ridiculous is what it is, dude. And like I said, when you're going to take those kind of crazy fucking stances like that, man, like, get the hell out of here, man. For real. Like, you're not a fit for this fucking place, dude. You might not even be a fit for this fucking state for that matter, dude. Like, take your ass to New York or some other state like that's all fucking blue and shit, dude. You know? Now, granted, yeah, I'm hoping Lee Zeldin actually flips that red now, but it's going to take a lot, dude. I think it's going to take multiple people taking down seats in their General Assembly as well to try to flip some of those seats from blue to red and stuff like that. I don't see that happening anytime soon until people start getting really pissed is what it is, dude, and actually running for office themselves then. But, yeah, I don't know, man. But either way, like I said, Patricia Goetz is a pre-oath breaker. She is a fucking nut job. She is a complete psychotic lunatic. She is an anti-gunner. She is a Bloomberg paid puppet whose entire campaign is funded by Everytown March for Our Lives, Moms Demand, Students Demand, Giffords, etc. Dude, Brady campaign probably is funding as well on that one. Just fucking look at every anti-gun group and assume that they're all throwing money. I'm sure she gets his pocket at this point, dude. Like I said, I guarantee she's getting money from Moms Demand because I'm pretty sure she's part of that one locally is what it is. And then I guarantee she's also getting other money from Everytown is what it is then for the campaign. And then probably a little bit from the March for Our Lives organization just because of that whole event she was at there where she was campaigning at and stuff like that. Which, by the way, I guarantee that's how she got her signatures for being able to run for office then, dude, was she was at the fucking that March for Our Lives event there in Akron. And then she's like, hey, everybody, sign my petition so I can get on the ballot. I only need 50 signatures is what it is. Oh, you're not you're not registered to vote Democrat yet? Well, we can register you to vote right now, and then we can have you put your name on this fucking ballot so I can run. So, yeah, it's a bunch of shit, dude, entirely. And by the way, that should be illegal, too, if you're going to be doing shit like that. If you're going to be registering people to vote just so they can put their names on the ballot on your fucking petition to run for office and stuff like that, like, nah, bro, fuck you. So anyway, it's a bunch of crap, dude. But yeah, I'd be willing to bet, honestly, if you look at a lot of the voter base that threw their names down on Goetz's petition there for the 50 signatures and stuff that she needed to do, which is probably a couple hundred that she got, is my guess, at an event like that. Is a lot of kids, probably a lot of first time voters, a lot of 18 to 22-year-olds probably would be my guess, and then just a bunch of old nuts is what it is, dude. That are all like old hippies that are all anti-gunners and shit like that. Then would be my assumption, dude. People like Goetz herself, who's in her late 50s, early 60s, somewhere in there. So anyway, but yeah, like I said, I'm just over it, man. I'm sick and tired of all this shit, and it's time to get back to square one and take this country back to what it needs to be, which is a constitutional republic, which is a nation with a lot of stand your ground and constitutional carry across the board, and finally deal a blow financially to Bloomberg's ass that is so hard that he can never come back from it. And as I've said before, dude, when you have those kind of big ass gigantic billionaires, dude, funding campaigns, I don't know, maybe make that illegal in this country. Because the fact you can have a billionaire funding a bunch of anti-gun campaigns, dude, like how, especially across multiple state lines too, by the way, how the fuck is that even legal? It should not be. There should definitely be legislation on the books that prohibits that shit and makes it a federal fucking felony, honestly, when it's all said and done, which I'm talking about. When I say federal felony, I'm talking about life imprisonment kind of felony for pulling that kind of crap, dude. And that's how you would stop a bunch of that shit from going on then, dude. It's like, hey, if you want to fund candidates in your home state of New York or whatever the case be, that's one thing, dude. But don't be coming across state lines to Ohio or up to Michigan or to Wisconsin or anything else like that, bro. Like, nah, fuck you. Get the hell out of here, old man. You old fucking demon pedophile. So anyway, that's pretty much where we're at for the day. Hope you guys enjoyed this Oathbreakers episode. I'll be back later this week for a 2A Constitutions podcast. We'll be doing a panel this time around. And wants to be part of the panel, let me know. It'll probably be about an hour or two that we'll be on bullshitting. I've only got a couple hours left on this account right now until the end of until Blue It is about a week and a half from now or so. So I might have to open a third account just to have another 20 hours to bullshit is what it is until then. Because right now I've almost exhausted this one. I've pretty much exhausted my original one as well. There's maybe a couple hours left on that one as well right now. So yeah, if you don't see me doing stuff for like a week or so, it's because of that reasoning. And or it'll be like very short episodes, maybe like 10 minutes a piece or something like that because of that reason, honestly. So If there's anything that pops up, though, I might be doing some more Ohio Patriot Education Network endorsements and stuff like that over the next few days and stuff like that as well. I may actually just film those as a different thing and then just post them after the fact or something. So anyway, other than that, though, that's pretty much where we're at for the day. Hope you guys enjoy this episode, and I'll see y'all on the next one.